All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to crack the code on what really works in social media marketing, and we're using a brand new research paper to do it. But here's a little spoiler for you. The answer isn't the flashy, expensive tech that everyone's chasing. Nope. It's something much more, well, much more human.
We've all seen it, right? Brands are constantly chasing the next big thing, the flashiest tech, to try and grab our attention. Things like virtual try-ons or those interactive filters. And one of the biggest buzzwords leading that charge is augmented reality.
So just in case you're not familiar, AR is that cool tech that lets you, for example, point your phone at your living room and see exactly how a new sofa would look right there. It's designed to be super immersive, super engaging, and let's be honest, it's pretty cool. But here's the billion-dollar question every business has to ask. Does it actually pay off? I mean, does all this dazzling technology really translate into customers who stick around and feel loyal to your brand? Or is it just a fun little distraction that wears off?
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. This study looked at 350 companies and found that AR had, well, basically no significant positive impact on what customers do or even how they think about a brand. Just look at those p-values on the slide. A p-value of 0.983. That is incredibly high. Now, you don't have to be a statistician, but what you're looking for is a tiny number, usually something under 0.05 to show there's a real connection. This number means there's a 98.3% chance the results are completely random. In other words, there's no relationship. So, if the hyped-up tech isn't the answer, what is?
So let's look at what this study found did work, because it turns out the real drivers of success aren't hidden in some futuristic tech, they're actually found in something far more fundamental.
It comes down to two classic fundamentals. Number one, building genuine trust, and number two, empowering your community to create their own content. The study found that being a brand people can rely on and showcasing content from actual users, those were the real heavy hitters. And the research is pretty blunt about this. Trust isn't just some nice-to-have quality. It's absolutely critical. Like the quote here says, it's what turns a regular customer into a true brand advocate. When people see you as transparent and reliable, they basically do your marketing for you.
And this is where that powerful idea of social proof comes into play. When we see real people, not the brand, sharing positive reviews or posting about a product, it acts as a massive seal of approval. It's a powerful validator that, as the study shows, significantly affects how other customers think and act.
So we have trust and user-generated content on one side, and we have customers actually engaging and buying things on the other. But how do you connect those two dots? Well, the study points to a crucial middle step, a secret ingredient that makes the whole thing work.
And that ingredient is something called consumer cognition. It's a fancy term, but all it really means is the mental filter we all use to process information. It's how our brain perceives things, what it pays attention to, and how it ultimately makes a decision when we see thousands of marketing messages every single day.
An easy way to think about it is like a gatekeeper for your brain, right? It's impossible to pay attention to everything, so this gatekeeper stands at the door and decides what gets in and what gets ignored. And if your marketing message can't get past that gatekeeper, it doesn't matter how flashy it is. It's basically invisible.
And this is the crucial link the study uncovered. Content that's trustworthy and comes from the community. That's the stuff that gets past the gatekeeper. It has to influence our perception first. It changes how we think about a brand before it can ever change what we do.
So let's actually take a look at how all these pieces fit together. The study's final model gives us a super clear map of how this influence really works.
Okay, now this might look a little complicated, but it's actually really simple. See on the left, you've got trustworthiness and user-generated content. Now just follow the arrows. They point directly to consumer cognition. That's the how we think part. Those numbers on the arrows, 3.9 and 5.1, they show an incredibly strong and direct influence. Trust and UGC are what capture our minds first.
And now follow that next arrow. The path from how we think to how we act, well, that's the main event. That connection is rock solid. Once a brand has successfully influenced our thoughts, it has a massive, direct impact on our behavior and our loyalty.
Just how strong is that link between thinking and acting? Well, the data gives us a t-statistic of 3.51. To put that in perspective, in the world of statistics, any value over 2 is usually considered a pretty big deal. So 3.5, that's a home run. It just confirms how absolutely vital that mental step really is.
And here it is, the whole story in one picture. On the left, you've got the path from augmented reality. It's a broken wall, a dead end. But on the right, you see this powerful, clear pathway. It flows right from trust and UGC through our own thinking and leads directly to real engagement and loyalty. I mean, the data couldn't be any clearer.
So what's the bottom line here? What should you really take away from all this research? Honestly, it's pretty simple. You've got to get back to the fundamentals.
The takeaway is crystal clear. Instead of just chasing the next shiny object, focus your energy on the human stuff. Build authentic trust, nurture your community, and let their voices be heard. And above all, always remember that you're marketing to a thinking, feeling person, not just to an algorithm. So, that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. I want you to take a hard look at your own marketing. Are you building strategies that earn trust for the long haul, or are you just chasing clicks for the short term? Because this research really suggests that the answer to that one question makes all the difference in the world.